What's going on, guys? Greg here. I got a video for today that is not exactly a good one. So here I have a fully installed Kylo Ren saber. It was a Black Series, and it was converted. And it was converted by Sam, I believe it's Lavrens of Republic Relics. Sam Lavrens. I'm not sure exactly how to say his name, and honestly, I don't care. He doesn't have his Facebook page anymore because of stuff like this, and I will go into full details about everything that's happened. So my history with Sam is that, unrelated to this, is that I had a Corbomantha Crossguard 2.0 saber that I was going to have painted by him, and the run was officially going to end in November, and so I should have had the saber by December, and Corbomantha had delays, whatever. Nothing that has to do with Sam. However, I booked this, I want to say, in about March, and I asked multiple times for pictures of his work with Crossguard, but he had a limited number of spots, so I got in on the run and I was like, hey, listen, I want to see some pictures of your work with the Crossguard, some painting pictures, to see that you can actually do it. Nothing, no updates, nothing. Okay. Come July, I asked again, nothing. So, August, nothing. And so September, beginning of September, I asked my money back. Said that, I know you haven't bought any paint yet. I know that you haven't bought any parts yet, and so I want my money back. It was $80, not a big deal. And I wanted it back to look elsewhere. And Sam kind of was just like, yeah, okay, I'll get your money back eventually. I was like, okay. And kept going, kept asking, and nothing. And eventually, to make a very, very long story short, he said that he posted on his page, his Republic Relics page, that he was going through some troubles and that he was going to be closing down shop and returning or offering full refunds to anyone who wanted it. And so I messaged him again saying, hello, I would still like my refund. And he basically said that I had to quit my bitching, which after 4 or 5 months for $80, it's a little frustrating. And I wasn't able to get my money back until February, when he took his family on a trip to Disney, and I called him out and basically threatened a small claims court, and he manned up and finally sent me my money. So that's part A. Part B is that twice now I've had to fix his sabers, this being the third. And I was dumb enough to not take pictures the first and the second time, and this time I'm smart enough. The first one, I just have to say, the electronics inside were held together with a glob hot glue. That's it. So I didn't have much hope when my buddy sent me this. I'm gonna keep the name anonymous because he wasn't the original buyer of the saber, so it doesn't really matter who sent me this. But whoever originally purchased this got this from Sam, and I made sure to follow the steps, and that no one has touched the saber or worked on it since Sam. So first things first. Come on. Unless the customer requested it, which I highly doubt, why didn't you just do 2 tactile switches? You have a tactile switch back here, which is very nicely installed, very low key, and I actually think that that's awesome. Why couldn't you do something else with that? So that's that. You also have up here, I can't show very well, but this entire piece is bent forward because he probably bent it when he was getting it off. Your screws are stripped on the side. Let's see. I haven't even done a full rundown because I just got this in the mail today. Why he put the LED retention screws on top instead of on bottom absolutely baffles me. Sorry, I was kind of out of frame. Instead of on bottom, he put the blade retention screw on bottom, but not the LED retention. So that kind of confuses me. The internals are the fun part to this saber. That's the part that really pissed me off. Because you open up shop, you say that you can do installs, you install Crystal Focus sabers, which I've had to fix. First of all, the Crystal Focus saber, I just have to say, nothing was properly resisted. Nothing was wired properly. It was bad. Anyways, and then you take something like this, which is a Prism 4.0, I believe, and you just do this to it. So, get the bottom off, the pommel. So the speaker, when you turn the saber on, when you're able to turn the speaker on, crackles like crazy. My assumption is that he probably hit something. But first of all, so this is the inside. That's how he bored it out. It's like, okay, it's plastic. You don't see it. Fine. I'll give it a pass. Except he glued and melted this all on there. I'm assuming he was trying to glue it down. Oh yeah, he was. But he used like some foam glue, which got all over this, so that doesn't even look good. So he didn't even clean up his own work. So that's, you know, one other issue. Put that to the side. And when we go to take the saber out, if I can get it out, because, you know. And now I understand, I'm going to preface this before I show the inside. At the time, there was probably no chassis for this saber. I get that. I get that it makes it a harder install. I understand that it means that the electronics are not going to be, you know, beautiful. Like if you get like a Saberforged saber with a nice chassis by Darth Vader that's made for it, everything slides in and out and it looks great. I get that. I understand it's not going to be perfect. But this, okay. You have, first of all, before I show everything, your soundboard is held on by the Velcro, which is fine. Like that's okay. And then electrical tape, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but you can get away with it. The battery is covered with insulation with hockey tape. So let me see if I can even show that. Yeah. So I bet you the leads are crap. Then it's wrapped in with hockey tape. And so why, if you're doing this, you don't just go with a removable battery? You can still put a recharge port, but just do a removable battery at this point. Because you have the chassis for it. Everything can still fit. And to me, that's probably like he either didn't want to cut the chassis down in here, because you have to do a little bit of trimming, or he was just too lazy. So now the best part of it all is this. This is your solution to a recharge port. This is your solution to wiring. This is terrible. And it doesn't look that bad in person, or sorry, over the camera, but it is. Because he took all his wires out of here, and then he brought them to here, and he just basically soldered everything together, stuck it together, and then threw it back in the saber. And that's exactly what he did with the Crystal Focus saber that I keep mentioning, except he, instead of doing hockey tape like he did here, he used hot glue. Like, that is terrible practice, and there's a reason why, and now it probably is going to work now that I did this. Yeah, there's a reason why when you take the kill key out, nothing happens. Why? Because something really broke in here, because watch this. And what I'm doing is I'm basically pushing up from the bottom of it. And I can keep doing it without even looking at it. Why? Because one of these wires in here snapped because he just doesn't know how to do anything. And then to top it all off, the part that I have to figure out is how...
You know I can take whatever I want.
I was sitting on the aux button. Is how come none of your LEDs work? On top of that, that's the blaster, which is not right. That's okay, and then... So, I'm going to let go of that. Hopefully it doesn't explode and kill me, or if it does, then... Oh well. So I'm going to put that back in there because I don't trust it. So something is seriously screwed up. My guess and my hope is that the positive wire running to the LEDs comes down into one wire, is my hope, but I don't think... it might, yeah. Switch. I'm doing this on live, I don't even care. Switch. Negative. So that might be the case. We would have 3 negatives, 3 switches, and a positive. So actually that could be the case. That could make it a little bit easier. But somewhere up here, the positive wire broke. That's my guess. And if I... Oh, what do you know? I didn't even know this was the case, and I just found this out now. So that's why the LEDs won't turn on. So see how easy it is to sit there and find these problems when I haven't tried to figure that problem out until now. Like I said, I just found that out. But now I know what's wrong with the saber, and now I'm going to have to sit there, refix this, try and fit a new chassis system, something in here for the recharge port, and we'll figure something out because this is going to end up going up for sale as a, basically as a, do you want a Kylo saber for a cheap price? After I inspect it and figure out what's going on with it. And after I actually approve the electronics and say that, holy shit, this isn't going to kill someone. And I know this video is long, it's going on almost 10 minutes now, but shit like this pisses me off. And I'm sorry if you're younger and you watch my videos. I apologize. I'm going to get angry and I'm going to swear. But this is fucking bullshit, okay? If you don't know how to work with electronics, if you don't know how to work with batteries, if you don't know how to work with soldering, if you don't know how to work with any or all of the above, don't install sabers. Don't take people's money. Don't offer it as a service. And just don't do it. Go buy from Vader's Vault, buy from buy from Vader's Vault, buy from Corbanth and have someone else install it. Buy from Romans, buy from whomever, buy from some of the custom makers, Griff's Custom Sabers and all those different things. Buy from one of them. And don't do this, because this is bullshit. So, this is part of my debugging on the fly. I figured that out. I know what's wrong with the recharge port, so this should be a pretty easy fix. But I'm going to still have to run through and make sure everything's working. Oh, on top of that, he didn't bore out the side channels to fit a normal 7/8 blade. He just threw in the old crappy Master Replicas blade, or the Force FX blades. So that's another thing. But anyways, done ranting. I will let this do its thing. I said thank you guys for listening, and I'm not going to post the page below, but like I said, most of you know the name of Sam Lavrenz, whatever. Sam, with all due respect, again, close your ears if you're young, go fuck yourself. This is not the way to do things. You told people to screw. You took people's money. You still have people's sabers. You shouldn't be part of this community, period. So, thank you for listening to me, and I'll talk to you guys later.